Herro. I'm Heru. Welcome to Flowcast. This week, I am joined by Ken Hill, Nunchaku ninja and flow arts entrepreneur. We are two Nunchaku addicts who go way back like Peabody. And on the radio waves, this episode is years of Nunchuck wisdom condensing into a giant star of flow arts fusion. This is Flowcast, produced by Vesica Multiversal. And so what interests me are those local celebrities, those people who they didn't grow up with fucking people spinning point around them. Like, they literally created their scene and their niche and the gigs that they have. Like, those are the people I am truly interested in talking to, because those are the people who are going to have an experience that is rare and a wealth of knowledge that is rare. And you're one of those people, so I'm really honored that I'm able to talk to you.
Most of it's just sinking in a couple times. It's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna start this. Hi, welcome. Welcome to Flowcast. I'm Heru. I'm here with Ken Hill. I met Ken about 5 years ago on a website called freestyleforum.net. And we both sort of joined the forum at the same time. And at the time I couldn't really explain why I was interested, because he posted a lot of videos. That was pretty cool at first too, to see somebody who was just starting off, like, so excited about posting their progress. And a lot of the concepts that he was exploring really resonated with me. And so I just sort of followed it and made sure that I introduced myself and, like, dude, I dig what you're doing. Like, let's keep in correspondence. And we have for like 5 years.
Right.
And we've talked on the phone a few times throughout this process. I remember when you're first leaving the cubicle and getting that whole thing going, and even before, when you're still in a cubicle life, we were talking on the phone, and you were telling me about your plans for getting the workshops going in Omaha, and the different ways you're thinking about doing that, and I took inspiration from that. I was going the troop path. And so we had a different approach to it, and so I was really sort of, like, I don't know, intrigued by what you were doing. I was really rooting for you. Like, I hadn't really heard of going for it like that, like the true entrepreneurial spirit in the flow art. Just like, there isn't a scene, so I'm just gonna fucking create one. Like, and so I don't know, dude. It's a pleasure to have you on the Flowcast. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. It's good to see you again and to talk to you, man.
Yeah.
I feel like for us too, what was really nice is we both started with nunchucks, and we stayed in contact a lot when we were both, we could say like amateurs, when we were just learning, and we just did it all the time, and that's all we thought about was spinning, and we didn't really think about the business of it or how to market or promotion or websites. We were just spinning our asses off, and,
dude, for real.
And it's almost like we took this like small leave, and now we're coming back, and we're meeting up again, and we're in a totally different place.
Completely. If you would have asked me at that time where I thought I would be 5 years from now, I wasn't thinking this. I had completely different plans. Like, I fucking loved spinning, but I didn't think that I would just fall in love with the art of it and the community of it like I have. Like, it's amazing, dude.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's the moment you, like, realize what you want to do with your life. I don't think you can ever plan that, man. I think it hits you upside the head and, like, makes you see where you need to go,
Yeah, completely. So I want you to tell us a little bit about Freestyle Forum. I mean, it's big in the Nunchaku world, but in the flow arts world, it's relatively obscure. And so I really want you to give us sort of your view on what the forum is all about.
Yeah, sure. The freestyle forum is the place to go if you're a nunchuck spinner, hands down. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or expert, it's just a place where we all come together to spin and to learn off one another. I mean, I can say the pros and the cons. The pros is definitely that we're all like working together in the freestyle forum. The only thing that I can say is the con is there's so much information that it's hard to it's hard when you're a new person to be able to navigate and to know what to do next.
Truth.
So I think that's kind of the thing. Like when I first came to freestyle forum, it definitely took me like a good moment or two to figure out where to go next. But if there's one thing I can say is everyone is really accommodating and helpful there.
Yeah, all you have to do is ask.
Yeah, just
truly,
ask.
If you're confused, you don't have to lurk in the shadows. Like just post a question like, "Hey, where do I start?" And within minutes, you will have people like, "Hey, watch this video." I remember even when I first started, I mean, the forum had been through a few versions by then and had been pretty well established. And I admit I had a hard time finding out where to begin. And I just introduced myself and said, "Hey, I'm Heru. I'm looking to figure out where to start." And people were like, "Well, learn your wrist spins, dude. That's where you start. Like, you can't really do much else until you learn wrist spins." And so I fucking drilled those. And that's where I started, dude.
I think another thing to add too is like everyone in the forum is very passionate, and I think that like passionate like helps when there's no. The thing about the freestyle forum is since it's all like since it's like this gathering of all these people that are passionate about their art. There's so much to share there, and there's very like one thing I love about the freestyle forum is it's very friendly competition when there is competition. Like ego is very low there. So you can feel welcome, you can learn a lot without ever feeling threatened,
Truth. Yeah, that brings me really to the next point that I wanted to make. The forum has a lot of information on it. And you personally, with your YouTube channel, have a lot of tutorials and sort of reflect almost a visual representation of the forum. Like, I really see the influence that the forum has had in the way that your channel has progressed, and I fucking dig it, dude. I fucking love it. I was checking out your channel. It's a lot of tutorials, and I like that YouTube allows you to organize them in a more cohesive manner. You can sync up playlists to whatever categories that you want, and just like it's really difficult to do that in the forum. It's really difficult to do that. But with your channel,
it's whoever posted last is the one that gets the top. So it can become disorganized pretty quickly.
Yeah. Sure. I remember, I modded a year there and did some of the behind the scenes work, and it's a lot of work to keep that thing going. Is a lot of work. Like, the people who run it, it's truly a labor of love. Like, I know they're not getting paid nearly enough for doing what they do there. We
gotta give a mad shout out to Psionics and to JM Vicuna.
Oh, truly.
They are madmen.
I plan on going down to Vicuna's neck of the world one of these days, because I'm determined to jam out with him. And same thing with Howard, dude. I am going to visit Howard.
I'm going to join you on that one,
dude. It's a must. It has to happen. Like,
right?
He's another person that I talked to from the beginning, from the first day, and we became friends almost from that first day, and have really shared in each other's progress. Howard is a smart fucking dude, and every time that I've talked to him, it's just been really fun, and to watch his flow is incredible. He does things with his legs that nobody else can do. I've yet to see somebody who can rock the chaku with their legs like Howard can. It's fucking amazing.
I'm trying to think of if I've ever seen anyone put a prop on the ground and spin it with their foot while stomping on the prop and then like grabbing it again.
Yeah, he's out of this world. He truly is. And dude, that's cool. And so it brings me to my point of the open source flow movement. The idea that the knowledge and technique and concepts of flow shouldn't have the barrier of a fee, but that it should be open, and the only fee should be your dedication, your time put into it. If you could, I'd like you to sort of talk about the pros and cons of the open source flow movement, and where your stance is on it, and then play devil's advocate to sort your thoughts on where the opposition for it is coming from.
Well, this is something that I've thought about a lot, of course, and if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that everything I offer is for free, and I've actually taken flack for teaching this, quite honestly, because it's almost like some people feel like you're teaching, like you're a magician and you're teaching magician tricks, and then everyone can do your tricks,
Yep.
But in the end goal, though, if you don't teach anyone your tricks, then there isn't really like an advancement of the community at all. What we have is a stagnation because we're not sharing what we know. If you can actually see this, I've actually taken the model that I've seen in the music world and applied it to the spinning world.
Yes,
and
dude, as have I, dude. I thank you for saying that. That they fucking spot on. Anyways, sorry.
Right. In the music world, I mean, in the 90s, everyone was selling CDs, but now everything's MP3s. People are downloading it, they're sharing it. It's just readily available, and where the money comes in is through concerts and through live shows, And so for me, it's kind of the same thing. I want to make it all readily available online, but then I can make my living by going across the United States, and I'll have a following, and I should be able to like create workshops and whatnot. So
yep, and you reach a wider audience by giving your things away for free too. One of the smartest business people I think of our day has to be Lil Wayne. The dude just fucking has the formula down, and what he does is he makes all these mixtapes. He collaborates with all the dope people that he knows of, puts it out for free, like all the time, like on a almost weekly basis, but at least a monthly basis. There's a different there's a different mix, and that's all for free. So when he goes and does his shows, he can charge whatever he wants because there's so much anticipation for it because his stuff's everywhere. And so there's a really smart business model to offering the stuff that could be leaked anyways. Just offer that shit for free, because if somebody wants the information, they're going to get it. So instead of creating an unnecessary barrier, go ahead and put it out there for free. Make your money in your performance, make your money in sponsorship, make your money in ways that don't affect your audience.
I feel like when you're in person, you should be able to charge. You're being a real human being at that point, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you're dedicating your time and your presence and your energy. But when you're on YouTube or when you're actually sending something digital, it's like a quasi presence or a semi presence, even. You know what I'm saying?
Truth.
And so then I feel like what you're offering then is more of a knowledge than the experience of being with someone in that moment.
Yeah. Dude, right on. Thank you. So I was watching some of your newer, not the tutorial videos, but your sort of demo videos.
Oh, cool.
And first, I enjoy the titles of your videos. The one in particular that I watched was Ninja Twirls Glow Nunchucks and Then Fire. And I was like, right on. And the video starts off with a close-up of you on the nunchucks, and you just hit some of the beastiest chord manipulation I have ever seen from you. I remember, a few years ago, the chord manipulation thing was kind of starting, but it was in the form of like hyperstyle and X-catching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you have like made that full transition in the chord manipulation and are beasting it. And so I kind of wanted to ask you who your influences are for that, and sort of what your practice looks like for that, and sort of your approach to chord manipulation.
Wow.
At least for nunchucks. Like,
Yeah,
not for poi, but like for nunchucks specifically.
I think one of the advantages, and one of the few advantages you have with nunchucks that is unlike any other prop, is the fact that you have a chain separated by two very symmetrical ends. You know what I mean? I can think the Meteor is the only other one that I can think of off the top of my head that has a breakable center, you know?
Yeah.
So I think exploiting the breakable center is really like what it's all about. Now I have to say, man, Troy definitely helped me with that. I mean, I discovered the moon wave, and I was it's always like me and Troy. I don't know, Troy Bonenkamp, gotta make a mad shout out to that guy, man.
Trust me, this podcast wasn't gonna end without super props to Troy. I'm definitely, he's gonna have his own cast because the work that he does is phenomenal.
It's amazing because he's kind of like this silent nunchucker, like, because what'll happen is like, Troy, check this out, dude, I just made this move, but Troy has like this very analytical super brain, and he's like, once I show him like I can help innovate, but once I do that, Troy can say, okay, I see what you're doing, here's about 5 other possibilities, and all of a sudden I'm like running around learning all these new possibilities, and then that's usually what happens. I feel like is I'll come up with some crazy move, and then Troy's like, yeah, but have you explored this? And I'm like, oh my god, we just like discovered gold.
Well, and one thing that I kind of want to comment on is that you are open to having your move critiqued in that way and being like, yeah, dude, that's really cool. These are all the possibilities, and have it not be you that did that, have that be from an outside person, and accept that not only with grace and humility, but not even think about, dude, this dude just like took what I did and fucking, tried to one up me. Like, it's not a one up thing. It's like it's a place of pure creation, and that it's not something that always that occurs in a spinner. I enjoy that too. Like, if I see something, I instantly think of variations. And I don't censor myself, so I'm just like, dude, you could do that like this. And some people get really offended when you say that.
I can tell you a theory I have about that.
Okay.
And it's a real simple one, really. It's not even a theory, it's more of a question. And the question is why do you spin? Right? Like, for me, it's not about myself. It's the removal of the self. There's something I'm like discovering and I'm sharing with people. But for other people, it's about themselves.
Yeah.
And so they'll be threatened. They'll feel like they'll take it personally because their spinning is who they are, to the point where they can't detach from. If someone one-ups them, it feels like they're one-upping them as a person,
Yeah, and I know that I like to show things to people because the more variations that other people show me from what I've learned, the more that I can use, like, it can be a very selfish thing in that too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of narcissistic, I'm kind of selfish. Like, the more that I put the moves that I'm working on out there, the more other people innovate them, and then I can see that and put my own innovation on it and see it from a fresh perspective, and it helps me personally grow. And so
I can definitely say that, like, some of the labs that I did in the earlier Nunchuck series, I've seen people do it, and they do it better than me. And I'm like, what the hell? Whoa, this is nuts. Okay. Like, I see it, and they've improved it. They've, like, made the formula better, and now we're, like, all of a sudden we have this paradigm shift that just happened. That's great.
Nice. Nice, dude.
But I think that's the point of it, though,
It is. To me, it is. And yeah, right on. So I want to talk a little bit about something. A few years ago, so I just want to introduce this first. So on the forum, you can have friendly competitions, and there is a section called the Battle Zone, where you can challenge other spinners of your approximate skill level to a battle.
Are we talking about ladder battles or?
Oh yeah, no, the ladder battles. Yeah, the ladder battles. And
that was fierce.
Dude, that was, dude.
That was awesome.
And I'd seen a lot of battles, and a lot of them were just like straight spin, and we spin against each other, and whoever's like the dopest is the dopest. And I don't know, I'm too artsy for that shit. So when I finally got to the rung of the ladder, that I could actually challenge fucking Ken Hill. Because I mean, I want you, like, everybody listening to know that even from the beginning, Ken Hill was beasting it. Even from the beginning, like, if you go back to his, like, older posts, you will see people just giving him mad props for his innovation. And it took me a while to get to that point on the ladder that I could actually challenge him. And so when I did, I was like, dude, we got to make this special. We got to make this unique. Like, it can't just be, we film for 2.5 minutes and fucking throw it up there. And we were both getting into aerial exploration. And I was like, you know what, dude? That's what we're going to do. We're going to have an aerial battle. And so...
I remember that, yeah. Totally.
Yeah, and so I set the rules. It was just aerial combos. It was like, a few minutes of aerial combos followed by a slow-mo, like the same video but slowed down, because sometimes aerials go really quick. And you really need to watch it in slow motion to appreciate it and, like, see it and be like, whoa, dude, that was dope. And there's people on the forum who really geek out on that shit. So, like, I wanted to make it interesting for us and make it interesting for the people who watched it, too. And so we set up the aerial battle, and you accepted the challenge. I was like, fuck yeah. And so I'm going to be real, dude. Like, I knew that I had to fucking bring it. And so I practiced every day on aerial combos and, like, just creating some of the nastiest, grimiest aerial combos that I could think of at the time. And I made the video, like, I edited it, like, I put everything, I want you to know that you inspired me to put everything I fucking had into this video. And you didn't put as much, like, it's not that your skill level wasn't there, you just didn't put quite as much into the video. And holy shit, if I didn't win against Ken Hill. Holy fuck. What are your thoughts on that epic loss, good sir? You completely forgot about it. No, I know, you completely forgot about it, but that's something that that shows you still how much I put into that. That's something I still remember to this day. And you were just like, well, this kid beat me in the aerial battle, whatever.
No, it's what you put into it for sure. Yeah, man. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I think that was, like, one of the only, like, wins against the upper tier that I had. Like, oh man.
I remember though. Yeah, those were really good times. I mean, back in those days, all we did was train. We didn't, like, there was nothing else but training. Like, nowadays, I probably spend about 20% of my time training and 80% of the time doing business. So actually, I have a lot less time to do what I love doing. But at the same time, I wouldn't be able to make a living or even to try to make a living if I'm not. So it's all, like, it's very rewarding.
And it'll come back around full circle too. It'll come back around full circle to where the business end of it will be self-sustaining enough that we can go back to that. Because I don't know about you, but that's what I'm working for. Like, that's why I'm putting in the hours that I do on the professional side, because I want to get back to that place where I can just spin all day, but also be, self-sustainable. It'll happen.
I think the best thing that we can do is just be consistent and keep doing what we're doing.
Truth, man. It's easy to do things in the short term, man, but it's that long term game that really gets you somewhere. And
yeah, definitely.
You've been doing it, man. So I wanted to on the theme of the aerial battle, I wanted to extend an invitation for another Nunchuck ladder match.
You want to battle me?
If you would grace me enough to battle Nunchucks, dude, I'll fucking come back and train Nunchucks, because you know that if I agree to this, I'm not gonna fucking be no chump. Like, I'm gonna fucking put everything I have, and I want to challenge you to a chord manipulation battle, a Nunchuck chord manipulation battle.
You want to do chord manips? Okay,
Let's
do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's figure out, like, send me a message a little bit later. We'll come up with the rules.
Yeah.
And we'll make a message.
I wanna say like maybe like a month and a half from now.
Mm-hmm.
That'll give us both enough time because I have a space that I can film, and I'm sure you do as well. And so that'll give me some time to get the rust off my chord manip game. And see if I can't give you a challenge, a proper challenge, anyways. So yeah, let's tentatively plan for like a month and a half, dude.
Let's do it. That sounds awesome.
Right on. Yeah.
It's on.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Ken Hill versus Heru Paikagia. Chord manipulation.
The rematch.
The rematch. Ken Hill, get the crown back. That's right, people. I may be interviewing Cam, but I got the crown as far as this goes. Ken may be the star, man, but he's got a battle to win.
Yeah, well, I just you might beat me, but for me it's about being a teacher.
Right on. No,
teacher.
that's honestly the spirit that I approached it in, and I think that's why I was able to put so much into it. Is because for me it wasn't about beating you. It was about progressing myself to the level that I could beat you. Do you understand? Do you understand the difference?
Totally.
Like
yeah,
it wasn't like, oh, I want to fucking show that I'm better than Ken Hill. It's like, what does it take out of me to compete against him?
And there's also another thing to remind people too, especially as Nunchaku tricks has taken off, is like I feel like sometimes people see me as more than actually what I am, and if they actually bring me down to a human level, because some people don't, if they bring me down to a human level, they'll see that all I really am is an artist that worked hard to get what he wants, and anyone can. You just gotta work your ass off.
Man, you gotta work your ass off, but anyone can do it. That's truth, man.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, I'm from, Spokane, Washington, man. Who's heard of that? You're from fucking Omaha. Like, we're from these, relatively small towns. But we've put in our work, man. We put in our hours, and it's starting to like actually show something, and it's a good place to be. And I want to help others and inspire others and show others that no matter what sort of life you have, if you're dedicated, you can make things happen. And dude, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's so true. You are your habits. That's really what it boils down to.
Word. Well said. So flow pants.
Flow pants.
Flow pants. What are your thoughts on the flow pant, good sir?
Dude, I love flow pants. Are you kidding me? I wish
flow
I had
pants.
more.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like samurai pants, but modified for the awesome hippies that we all are now. So
Truth.
It's like samurai hippie pants. I don't know. I dig it. It's happier though. Of course, for me, I like the edgy ninja style, but
yeah,
flow pants are awesome, man. It's so much better than jeans. So much better.
I really enjoy personally wearing my flow pants around the city on like a normal day at a normal time. Wearing my flow pants and my festival sweater. And just fucking rocking it, dude. And I eventually do want to have like the colors of the rainbow in flow pants. Like I want to have a flow pant that will go with anything. We
need Troy to build some L.E.D flow pants, man.
Yes, Troy. When you listen to this, we need it, brother. We need it. Start production now.
Yeah, I feel like, especially in Omaha, we're very what's the word? I don't want to say repressed here in Omaha, but everyone's very like, everyone just dresses a very, I can't think of the word right now.
Is it utilitarian?
Oops. We're very conservative.
Is it like conservative and maybe like utilitarian? Like they dress more for function rather than fashion?
I mean, there's an underground scene in Omaha, but for the most part, yeah, it's going to be that. It's so to wear actually flow pants anywhere around here, you get some funny looks. Let me tell you something else, man. When I'm in Costa Rica, everyone has flow pants and awesome pants. Like, I can walk around in Costa Rica with long flowing pants and nunchuck strapped to my side and fire stabs to my back. I'm just a normal dude there. That's just what it is. So,
Yeah.
Mad props to Costa Rica on that one. And
Dude.
someday for Omaha.
Right on. That brings up a good point. If you could, I'd like for you to talk about Costa Rica, and what's going on over there. Yeah.
Yeah, Costa Rica. Last year, I got to do my very first Costa Rica retreat. It was awesome. I got to meet amazing people. I met Nick Woolsey, Srikanta Barefoot. We all did week-long training. I did nunchucks and fire staff, and I'm going to do it again this year, I'm doing a little bit later. It's going to be down in October, so I wanted to give myself a little more time because I'm building my YouTube presence so we can even get a bigger turnout than last year. So.
Right on, dude. Right on. Dude, that's cool. What is it about Costa Rica that draws you as opposed to any place else? Because I mean, theoretically, if you could have a retreat at Costa Rica, you could have it anywhere. So what is it about Costa Rica in particular that speaks to your flow artist soul? Well,
damn, it's Costa Rica. I'm going to die there. So that is where I'm going, man.
Right on, right on.
There's a fire dancing school in there in Montezuma. There's an actual school there. So, yeah, they teach it. And that's why a lot of the flow artists go down to instruct as well, because it's incredible, I mean, you go down there and you got this amazing waterfall and you have the ocean, and I mean, who doesn't want to train by the ocean? I live in Omaha, Nebraska. I have no mountains, no ocean, and over there it's just there's no need for air conditioning. Your windows are always open and you're by the beach and you're training. It's just incredible.
Sounds like paradise.
It is. It was hard to leave. Even just the fact I feel like it's like a step back to the 80s though a little bit, because it's like there's very few cars, there's no Xboxes, there's no internet. It's just like everyone is just out at the beach, and even like the old people there look buff. I mean, like
nice.
Everyone looks like strong and buff because they're always outside doing stuff.
Dude, word.
It's cool. It's like escape from technology.
Sounds healthy. It sounds like a healthy place for humanity to be.
I think it's definitely good to go there at least once. So just like I think everyone should at least escape technology at least for a week somewhere, every year.
Definitely. It's one of the things I'm trying to make into a mantra now is unplug. Especially with the work that I've been doing on the business end, like I have to remind myself that even on a daily basis is like, it gets to be 1 o'clock at night and I'm still editing stuff and it's just like, dude, unplug. It'll still be there tomorrow. Nobody's going to trip if you don't have it edited fucking right now. Like, it'll be cool. Like, I'm fortunately at the point to where I'm setting my own deadlines. And so the only person I have to really own up to is my own sense of letting myself down. And so I know that if I put everything I have into it, and it gets to be 1 o'clock in the morning and I just can't I'm seeing double, dude. Like, I can go to sleep and it's going to be okay.
I so can relate to that. I think sometimes, though, when there's no one else, like, banging the gun on you, it's like you're running a marathon and you don't know exactly how fast you should run. So you just, like, run your ass off.
Yeah.
It's actually, like, if you're extremely driven and there's, like, no one telling you what to do, you just keep going until you, like, pass out.
Until you can't, yeah. And it's quite an amazing place to be. I don't know if I've ever been quite as inspired, quite as motivated. I don't think I've worked as hard for anybody else ever in my life as I am to get my own personal flow career established, as well as just strengthen and get the word of the flow community as a whole out there. Like, the work that I've put in for that has been way more than anybody else than I ever have. And it's quite it's fire. I mean, that's really the only way I can describe it. Is it's like fire for the soul. It's fire for your sense of motivation and your sense of purpose.
Yeah, man. And then there's the, like, you worked maybe 2 to 3 times harder than you would a regular job, but it's not working anymore either. It's crazy how that works.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you about something that you pioneered, and something that since I haven't really seen too much progress in nunchucks. Hyperstyle, dude.
Yeah, hyperstyle.
The concept and the moves that are contained within hyperstyle were, as far as I know, unused before you came along. I would like to think, because I am one of those people who does sort of think you're not from this world. I would like to think that some of the things that you do in hyperstyle, even the greats like fucking Bruce and Lee Barden and fucking people like that have not done ever with a nunchuck. And it's fucking dope, man. Like, that's really the only way I can say it, is it's fucking dope. And I just, if you could talk about hyperstyle, how it started and how it's progressed, and where do you think it's going to go in the future?
Hyperstyle, wow. Well, I've even been working on some new hyperstyle moves lately, so that's funny you mentioned that. Hyperstyle is definitely my favorite style. It's probably one of the fastest bounce styles you can have. I don't know. Right outside, I tend to think that hyperstyle is a lot like glow stringing. I don't know if you've seen the glow stringing, but they're just fast and furious, bouncing it all around their bodies. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what nunchucks is for hyperstyle too. It's like what glow stringing is for poi.
Truth. Glow stringing is actually a huge influence for me. In my fire spinning and prop making, one of my missions is to make fire gear that has the same smooth and control, flow that glow stringing has, and the ability to change direction and bounce on a dime, dude. And so I try to build my props to be able to do that, because glow stringing is a huge influence. And that, I think that's why hyperstyle resonates with me, is because I aesthetically have that glow stringer background. And hyperstyle fucking speaks to it.
There's something else to be said about, like, many years of martial arts. We did a lot of hand drills. Like, we would just drill our hands back and forth. I remember some of the best sparring matches I had was against my sensei, and our hands were just moving furious and fast, right? So I developed a pretty good sense of hand speed because of those drills and the sparring matches that I used to have. And I wanted to figure out how to incorporate that into my spinning. That's actually where hyperstyle came from, was all those martial arts sparring sessions, the hand drills, the training. I wanted to feel like that same sense of flow, because what's interesting is when you're actually, like, you probably have seen this. It's just like a good kung fu movie. When you're in the flow with someone else, it almost like has a rhythm of its own.
It does, and part of martial arts is dictating the rhythm. And being the lead of that dance, or at least attempting to be the lead of that dance, or at least, if not outwardly being the lead, at least knowing what the tempo and the speed is, to be able to direct it in the way that you want. Like, martial arts is very, very similar to dance. It's just it's more goal oriented than dance is, I think. It's more goal oriented, but it definitely has the same sort of concepts, which I rather enjoy. I'm a Wing Chun practitioner, and
so Pak Sao, Lap Sao.
Yeah, oh yeah. My girlfriend and I practice that. That's right. My girlfriend will Wing Chun your ass.
Well, you should probably find a lot of the moves similar to hyperstyle. Then, I mean, you should actually be able to see some of those influences in there. Actually,
I really do, and that's that, dude. Thank you for mentioning that. the speed and the economy of motion is spot on, and I think that's one of the things that sets hyperstyle apart. Is Nunchaku is not overly focused on economy of motion, whereas you really took it to its foundational elements and expanded from there. And that's why hyperstyle is so unique in what you can do with nunchucks. And the reason I wanted to talk about your process is because I'd like to see that happen more often in nunchucks. I would like to see more innovation. Like, I know chord manipulation is a thing, but it still seems to be sort of that more poi-influenced nunchuck art, which has been done. And I would like to see more outside-the-box influences. And
there's one other person to watch. The nice thing, okay, so me, you, and Troy, right, all came from the forum, and we've kind of, all of us have, like, picked up more props, and we all have, like, new influences that we can bring to nunchucks. I don't know if you know Gabriel Alexander Ford. He's definitely another one to watch, though.
Oh, right on. I don't, but I will link to his video.
Check it out.
Podcast.
He changes, he does double chucks, and he, like, puts in a lot of double staff motions with it.
Nice. You know,
really nice.
And I can't remember his name because it's been years. But there is a dude who was doing some really beastie stuff with contact nunchaku. He had tennis balls on the end of his chucks. He was actually the reason he inspired me for my current nunchuck design, which is tennis balls on the end. Because I saw this, a Cyrix, I want to say.
Cyrix, Cyrix.
Yeah.
Cyrix and Kelsey. They're from Kansas City. They're right down the road. They good friends.
Yeah. I'm glad I can remember his name.
Cyrix is awesome, dude.
Yeah, and he was really doing some good work with contact nunchaku, and there's still like stuff that I'm having a hard time getting 100%. Like a lot of the contact staff moves I can do, but it's still a percentage thing. It's not. It's really complex. Nunchaku takes those types of moves to another level because of the flexibility in the center. Like,
it just kind of like breaks down as it rolls down your.
Yeah, it is, and the difference between Nunchaku and contact staff is with contact staff, the center point is what makes contact, and with nunchucks, the center point is the least stable part of the nunchuck.
Exactly. Hey, has Troy ever talked? Did you see our tech chuck, by the way?
I did, yes.
Okay, cool. You've got to play with one of those because it's essentially a mix between a club and a shorter nunchuck that you can do like inside motion.
I would love to, dude. We are going to like officially fucking get together soon. I think we're both to a point to where we can make that happen no matter what the circumstances are. At the time, I couldn't afford to stay in a hotel. I worked out some other plans that fell through. And it just, I had all the other money set up. I couldn't afford like a hotel or something. And I was really disappointed that I couldn't go, dude. I was looking forward to it. But we're both at a point now to where I think we can make that happen. And I think our combined nunchuck exploration, is gonna be dope. Oh my God, it's gonna be dope.
Sure.
So, dude, we've been talking for like an hour on the cast, and we haven't even gone through half of the questions. We're gonna have to get together again, and do a part 2, like for real. Even like, because I posted the Flowcast schedule, and so I'm doing 2 a week, and even at that, you're still a couple weeks out. And so by then, if you're cool with it, I would like to get together with you again and do a part 2.
Do it.
Because, dude, I haven't even gotten through half of the questions yet.
That's hilarious, but yeah, we definitely.
Cool. And so with that in mind, I'm not going to really end it formally. I'm just going to, pause it like we were going to a break.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So we're here with Ken Hill. And we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with part 2 on Flowcast. What up, Flow Illuminati? I invite you to space jump on over to Vesica Radio Flowcast on Facebook. There you will find Flowcast episodes and exclusive pictures, audio, and video. Like the page and stay tuned for all the galactic flow goodness. That's Vesica Radio Flowcast on the bookface. Alrighty, we are back with Ken Hill. It is now Sunday morning. It is about 11:30 Central Standard, and it's been a weekend. We're both sounding kind of like zombies.
Poof! We just time traveled into the future, and you guys on the podcast right now get to hear it in action.
Oh man, Ken, it's good to see you. It's good to talk to you again, brother.
Yeah, same here. Let me get my time traveling gear off. Hold on.
Okay,
I'm back. That was fast. Yeah, man, it's good to be back. We can talk about nunchucks for hours and hours.
Oh, truly. So in the space of the millisecond that we've been away, what have you been up to, brother? Like, what were you able to get done ninja style in that millisecond of time?
Well, between that millisecond and this millisecond, I'm actually working on some new LED projects that are going to be pretty sick. I'm trying to create these programmable LEDs that you can program through Bluetooth, so that way future props will be programmable in ways that are slightly different. Yeah, I'm trying to build a control panel. I'm working a lot with electronics right now. Word. So not necessarily ninja yet, but in the future, man, it's going to be like cyborg ninja.
Word. Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a brain twister, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
And how long have you been learning about LEDs and stuff, brother?
Oh God. Well, I mean, I got a general idea about a year ago when Troy from Flowfires tried to show me some stuff, but it really wasn't until about a month ago that I really decided to get into it. So I'm still like at a beginner level, but for someone like me, like I'm one of those people that just jump in with everything I got. So like I eat, breathe, and sleep it, and talk to experts and get as much information as I can so I can go through it quickly.
That's awesome. I know that you're going to just create epic things with lights, just because I know your dedication and intelligence, yo. Like I know that you're going to get some good stuff done. Dude, go ahead.
Thanks, man. Yeah, even if it doesn't work, like it's just going to be a fun project. But so far, it's been pretty good. I've developed buttons. But yeah, it's just the little things. But then, I've already got modes and buttons, and then I know if I can just build this thing that Troy from Flowfires can actually put it in some sort of solid casing and make it a reality.
Yup. Yeah, I know you guys have done a lot of, real world testing on the props.
Yeah, because that's mostly Troy. I'm usually his prototype tester, which is awesome.
Yeah, and because you both of you are gonna like thrash whatever you have, like for real, and so it's nice to know that you two are trying to build props that are made for that and can be thrashed, but are still high end products that can be like programmed by Bluetooth and stuff. Dude, that is epic.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be awesome when this gets done. Building the control panel is going to be a pain, but I think in the end it's going to be pretty sick if you can create like music choreography, kind of like the same way someone would do a DMX.